What's going on, guys? Dots Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you all my final video on the Dragonhold patch notes for the upcoming DLC and the Elder Scrolls Online. And this is basically just going to cover everything that I did not cover in my previous couple videos that basically focus primarily on combat. So this is going to focus on other things coming to the game, such as the actual DLC game pack itself, as well as some big improvements coming to the activity finder, and basically anything else that I missed in the other videos. So we are getting the new zone, Southern Elsweyr. Once a prestigious and wealthy land built upon the trade routes of the shimmering, moonlit waters of the Topal Sea, it is now a mere shadow of its former self. The effects of the Knothan flu still linger throughout the province, and an event that decimated most of the population and left the land of ruthless lawlessness filled with slayers and pirates. Now scorched lands, burnt buildings, and ruins of an era long past cover the region of Palatine, leaving citizens with little hope for the future, yet the problems of old pale in comparison to the newest threats. So, dragons have come back, obviously, to Elsweyr that we know, and we are going to try to reform the Dragon Guard to fight off these dragons. So we get to visit the Southern Elsweyr, navigate to the DLC tab of the collections, and accept the Dragon's Lair quest. And then from there, we can visit one of our capital cities, Wayrest, Mournhold, or Elden Root, and we're going to seek the Bandari Caravan. And obviously we have character templates on the PTS, and this is the finale of the Season of the Dragon. So the combined forces of your allies from Northern Sun and Elsweyr must join together to put a stop to Khal Grantid's ultimate plan for hundreds of years in the making. The Season of the Dragon's finale is unlike anything we've done in ESO thus far, and to ensure story continually makes sense, this special questline will only become accessible once you've completed the main questline of both the Elsweyr chapter and the Dragonhold DLC. You may do the questline in any order. Once both adventures have been completed, a messenger will arrive and put you on a certain path. So we're going to be rebuilding the Dragon Guard Sanctum. Once you have reformed the Dragon Guard and found a base to call home, you can begin to rebuild the Dragon Guard by completing various quests found within the Sanctum, including both main and daily quests. As you complete these quests, the Dragon Guard will begin to grow with new allies and services appearing within the Sanctum. Some of these things that you will unlock and create a unique crafting station for the Ancient Dragon Guard item set, so you'll only be able to get that crafting station if you actually do the quest line. We also have an achievement vendor. We also will have a quest to unlock a unique crafting component from dragons, which is pretty cool. And after the Dragon Guard is reformed, you can track your progress on rebuilding its headquarters under the Achievement tab, a new Dragon Guard in Dragonhold quests at any time. We're also getting two new types of dragons coming to the game. Frost and Storm Dragons from the far reaches of Tamriel have come out of hiding, drawn to Elsweyr by their brethren. These fearsome creatures bring unique and devastating destructive magic to bear on those who are brave enough to face them. So Frost Dragons will summon fierce winter storms and cause frozen spears to burst from the ground. Storm Dragons will call lightning from the skies and annihilate foes with fearsome blasts of shock magic. Rumors of the dragons that manipulate the flow of time have also spread throughout the taverns and caravans of Elsweyr, as tales of these long-dead skeletons are erupting from the earth to serve draconic masters. The creatures themselves have grown bolder, chasing enemies across the battlefield to rip them with tooth and claw. Dragons tire of their environments and take to the sky when they are not engaged, so those who dare challenge them must be prepared to fight to give chase. I do like that. These new dragons and dragon behaviors are found in both Northern and Southern Elsweyr. Very cool stuff. So we're going to skip over some of these new item sets because I covered them in the item sets video. We did get some new achievements, titles, and collectibles. 30 new achievements, 6 new titles, a new die, and several new collectible rewards. Very, very cool. The Dragon Slayer title, that's pretty badass. I actually am going to want to go for that. We also got Hero of the Dragon Guard, Lunar Champion, Master Grappler, Guardian of Elsweyr, Soul Mage Maven. Blah, blah, blah. Collectibles. The Regal Dragon Imp Cosmetic Pet. We have the Wall of Life Bush Memento, Mask of Alkosh Collectible Hat. Kunzan Rees Rest collectible furnishing is obtained from doing the Hero Song achievement. We got the Anson Formation collectible, Khajiit Moon's replica. So we got a bunch of new collectibles, dies, titles, all good stuff. I like some of the new titles too. The Topal Corsair outfit style. These new outfit styles can be obtained by entering Southern Elsweyr and completing a variety of quests in the zone. And the Dragon Guard uniform costume is rewarded from completing a quest on Easy Alliances. We also got the new Dragon Guard motif chapter, as well as the associated style item Gilding Salts are obtained from completing daily quests for the Dragon Guard from Chisbari the Chipper and Dirge Trupter, Dragon Guard Taskmasters. We also got 2 new homes, the Lucky Cat Landing, as well as Potentates, aka Potatoes Retreat. So we got 2 new homes coming in the update. Very, very cool. And we also get the final wing of our Lunar Champion Hall. So those who complete the main story of the Dragon Guard and Dragonhold will earn the final story tablet for the Hall of the Lunar Champion. Placing the tablet on the altar of ambition opens a portal to Lion's Cradle. Very, very cool. So updated activity finder. We got some very big improvements to the activity finder, which I am a massive fan of, especially the battlegrounds change. So dungeons adjusted the removing from area timer when leaving an instance group. This timer now gives 2 minutes when leaving a completed instance to allow for more time for quest turn-ins and such. Very good change. It is also only 10 seconds when leaving an area, when leaving an incomplete instance to make the final process of finding replacement group members to make group activities quicker. So basically, this will give you time to actually turn in your quests and whatnot at the end of a dungeon. Very, very good changes. Battlegrounds. Accepting a ready check for a battleground will now immediately send you to the battleground. This is to help avoid the common situation where repeated ready checks happen with only 1 or 2 players not accepting them. It's about time, man. Really, really good change. Massive fan of this. The battleground will now continue to find replacements for players that declined or timed out of the ready check. If the battleground cannot find at least 3 players per team after 5 minutes, the battleground will close and you will not receive a lever debuff. Very good change coming to the battleground queue system. Big fan of this. The section of the the activity finder for the Alliance War has been removed. The original idea was to help facilitate grouping in Cyrodiil, but it's rarely used. I literally have never used this once in my time of playing. We are getting our first wave of performance updates. In this update, we've implemented a new memory pooling system to reduce memory fragmentation. This fundamentally changes how we handle memory use in ESO. It will not only improve your experience by significantly reducing the chance of crashing from running out of memory, you may also notice minor FPS improvement due to reduction of load in peak memory use situations. Hopefully, these performance improvements help a lot, man. I'm crossing my fingers for positive performance improvements in this game. Battleground drummer, weapon outfit styles. So we got, if we complete flag games and BGs, we're going to get some new outfit pages, so they're bound to you when you complete them. Your performance in flag games does not impact the outfit styles drop chance. Win, lose, or draw, you have the same chance to obtain a battleground runner outfit style page. This I don't like. I wish that they made it the if you come in first place, you have a higher chance, and if you come in second place, you have a medium chance, and if you come in last place, it's a really low chance. It would actually kind of encourage people to want to do well. You will always obtain these outfit styles in a prescribed order and only after obtaining all battleground runner armor outfit styles. Okay, so that's good. We also are getting the Undaunted Celebration coming to the PTS for people to test because they're going to have that event later this year. So it's the typical stuff, you know, defeating a final boss in any dungeon will reward an Undaunted event box. You'll get an exceptional box in the first one per day. You get a new Opal weapon style. These are based on the Alambris, Engine Guardian, Bloodspawn, and Troll King styles, but with a unique shine and effect. Ooh, I like that. The new Opal versions are available of the Alambris, Engine Guardian, Bloodspawn, and Troll King helmet shoulder styles. They have a chance to drop from the associated boss and veteran hard mode, while their shoulders can be purchased from Galarian or Maj. During the event, you can earn 3 event tickets once per day per account by defeating the final boss of any dungeon, and these can be traded for special items at the event merchant. Also, the Alliance War campaign is receiving an update. We are getting rid of the 7-day campaign, and instead we are replacing it with Lot Valoon, the 30-day CP-enabled, no Alliance-locked campaign. So they're shutting down Yolnakreen for Lot Valon. I hope this becomes the primo campaign. I am not a fan of Faction Lock. I originally thought Faction Lock would be an okay idea. Once they implemented it, I was like, oh no, I dislike this. It's way too limiting. I pray that this becomes the new go-to campaign, because I feel like the prime reason that Yolnakreen was never really used was because the 30-day campaigns gave much superior rewards. So I really, really hope that this becomes the primo spot to play. I think if they list this first in the champion, like in the CP campaigns, if they have Lot Valoon on top of Call Grunted, I think people will just like click the first campaign they see, and this will become the most used one. But if it's second, we still might see Call be the more dominated campaign. But, you know, ultimately we don't know human behavior until we're pressed with that situation. So we will see what happens. Okay, so this is known issues, some just general bug fixes and improvements. I don't think there's really anything else that super needs to be covered. I just want to double check here. I think that a lot of this is just like bug fixes and stuff. I don't see anything noticeable because a lot of this is combat stuff that I covered in other patch note videos. I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anything for you guys, but I think that's pretty much it, man. I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to kind of give my final thoughts here on the patch notes before I go. Yeah, a lot of this is just like bug fixes and whatnot. So that's pretty much all I want to cover in terms of like base game stuff. If you guys want to look through all these other bug fixes and like improvements and stuff, you guys can go ahead and take a look yourselves. So, final thoughts. There is actually a lot of good coming in this patch. A lot of the stuff coming to the base game, like activity finder improvements, the new campaign, the new zone, all that stuff, new motifs and stuff. This is a lot of good coming from this patch. Even some of the balance changes are just really, really nice. There are some stuff like what they're doing to Warden is really good. There's a lot of good changes. You know, the new bound armaments, really cool. But I feel like a lot of that just gets eclipsed by a lot of the bad with these massive cost increases and these massive damage decreases on top of that. I feel like we're being double nerfed. I no longer feel that I understand the direction the game is heading in combat-wise, because I thought that the game was heading one way with Scalebreaker. Now the game is heading a different way with Dragonhold. The game looked completely different in Elsweyr, and who knows what's going to happen Q1 of next year. What if the game gets completely changed again? You know? And I think that ZOS needs to be careful with how they balance their game moving forward. I think they need to, in 2020, figure out a way to balance the game more frequently so that they can deploy their changes more slowly over time. Because this constant ping-pong balancing, I feel like is beginning to exhaust players, veteran and new. You know, veteran players are like, my God, trying to keep up with these changes is getting really annoying. And new players are like, well, you know, I just started and I just figured things out and now things are totally different, you know? And like I said, I know I've seen the common argument that, well, you know, it's good for the game. Good players will continue to get good and, you know, change is good and it forces players to learn new stuff and blah, blah, blah. And while I do agree with that, having that every 2 months is exhausting. Having that once a year, maybe even every 6 months would not be as bad, okay, if they change the meta up like that. Because yeah, obviously you don't need to say that. Obviously, players who are good at the game and want to continue to perform at the highest levels are obviously there's one of two options: figure it out or quit. Obviously, that doesn't need to be said. So obviously, people are going to figure it out, but it doesn't mean that we're happy about it. It doesn't mean that people are happy about it. It doesn't mean that people enjoy it. Okay, the swing of what's good has just been a pendulum this year. It was one way in Elsweyr, it was a different way in Scalebreaker, and it's a different way in Dragonhold. So we've seen over the last, it will have been what? Less than 6 months? We will have seen 3 meta changes in less than 6 months. That's too much. That's too much. And it's not even slight. They're very dramatic. They're very, very dramatic. And they need to figure out a way next year to balance this game more frequently, because I don't think this 4 times a year balancing for combat is enough. And I just don't like it. It's not enough. And I understand that that's a new combat team and they're trying to put things in place to make the game quote unquote easier to balance in the future, but we still have the passive rework. We still have the champion point rework, you know? So are they just trying to, have they just kind of written off Elsweyr to the whatever the next chapter is and say, okay, you know, from that year cycle, we're just going to rebalance the whole game and the game will be back to normal next chapter, you know? Is that what they're doing? But the thing is like, you have to worry, how many players are you going to lose in that process? You know, they need to make a combat roadmap. They need to actually come out and say, what are they planning? What are they trying to do? Because right now, I have no clue. I thought I knew, but this patch flipped it on its head. And I feel like a lot of other people feel the same way. They gave us a performance roadmap for the game to say, this is what we're working on. We've heard you guys. We know that performance needs to be better. This is what we're planning to do. I want the same thing for combat, because I don't understand what they're doing, why they're doing it. It just doesn't make any sense. And I want to know why. And I want to know what their plan is, because every patch now, every 2 months, 2 to 3 months, getting the game completely flipped on its head is beginning to get exhausting. I can understand, like I said, I can understand once a year to keep things fresh, even twice a year. But 3 times in 6 months, it's getting very tiring. But that's just kind of my little rant on combat. Like I said, I do feel that as an endgame player too, a lot of these things it's eclipsing a lot of the stuff that's good. because there's so much good being added to the game. There's so many positive things that they're doing, but just these things that frustrate players that play a lot of end game and focus their primary gameplay focus is combat centric. Leaves a lot of us kind of stunned and confused. But I want to know what you guys think about it. What do you guys think about these base game notes that I went over? Like I said, of all my videos, this one, the base game changes, as well as the set changes, some of the best stuff to come out of this patch. And then kind of everything in between I'm really not a fan of. But I want to know what you guys think, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys like this patch notes review, please smack a like on it. And for more great ESO content, as well as to keep up to date on the Dragonhold stuff, please hit that sub button as well as hit the bell to keep notifications on. So thank you all so much for watching today. I very much appreciate it. As always, I'm Dots Gaming, and I'll see you all in the next one.